Hello, hello. How are you, everyone? Happy New Year. I'm so excited to be back with you live for my first live of the new year. And we have an awesome topic today, which is how you can update your website for the new year. So, if we haven't met before, hi, I'm Allie McCauley. I'm a brand and business strategist and WordPress designer and developer. And I'm also the CEO and founder of my company, which is Do Well Websites, and also the host of this show that you're watching, the Build and Grow Your Business Like a Pro show, where I bring you all of my best tips and strategies for building and growing your business online. So I'd love to know if you're joining me live or if you are catching this on the replay and you already have a website for your business. Do you regularly go through it and make revisions and updates? I'd love to know. So hop in the comments and tell me, like I said, whether you're on live with me or watching the replay, do you regularly go through and revise and update your website? I really do want to know, because I often see entrepreneurs either be one of two camps, right? They either tweak it and pull it apart as like a daily activity. They do it so often and so much that the cohesiveness kind of breaks down after a while, and they kind of use it as a stalling tactic to doing more productive things. They love to tweak their website and just consistently change it. Or I see this a lot too, which is they never touch it. Um, Okay, Stephanie, Steph, yes, revising yours currently. Good. All right, so this is perfect timing, because what we're talking about today is what you can look at, right? What kind of things you can look at for making these updates. So the second group that I often see is that they never touch it. They're afraid to touch it, and they feel like it was hard enough to get it done in the first place, and now they don't ever really want to make changes because they just are like in total fear that they'll mess it up. So I see both of these a lot. But ideally, you'll have a website that you really feel 100% confident to go in and make edits without the fear of breaking it, and that you can be reviewing and reassessing how it's working, because you really want your website to be a sales tool for your business, and you need to make improvements as needed, right, throughout the year, so you can see what's working, see what's not. So that's what we're going to dig into today. A few things that you can do to make sure that your website is up to date and really at its peak performance for 2022. All right. So the first thing is the obvious one, maybe it's to make sure that everything's working. So this kind of like seems like a big job, right? Especially if you have a really large website, but you've really got to go through each page to check and see if there's any issues. So this could be things like missing images, images that have gone broken, or maybe low quality images, broken links. They often, the pages that you've linked to are down or something like that, and you can find broken links. And then also have a look for any formatting or style issues that may have popped up as things have changed. So this does take some time, but if you just start with your homepage and work your way through each page, just to make sure that all is well, you'll get through it. It's important to remember that some users land on a blog article, or one of your interior pages, your services pages or something like that, and they may never actually make it to your homepage. So be sure not to only focus on your homepage. Every page really needs to make a good impression, and also give your user a really good experience so that they'll keep reading and keep clicking through your site rather than just clicking away, right? Okay, so then the second thing you want to do is review your content. And remember, your website content includes both your copy and your images. So try to read through your website as if you've never seen it before. Really try to have fresh eyes when you're reading through it, and an open mind, and ask yourself, is it immediately obvious who you help and what the problem is that you can solve for them? Would your dream client know that they're in the right place when they land there? Also, do you use actual words and phrases that they'd use? Or do you tend to have insider jargon, that words that they really just don't understand or that they can't relate to? Those are important things to keep in mind and paying attention to as you're reading through your content. Another good one is, are there any long, lengthy, ongoing blocks of copy? If there are, you could think about breaking them down into being more bite-sized, digestible chunks. You can do that by either breaking it into more paragraphs. Even one sentence paragraphs are totally fine on the internet. Or you could break it down into bullet points. Maybe you can add subheads throughout. Anything that can help you to add like visual road bumps as someone's reading down the page to help slow them down and capture their attention as they're reading down the page. Okay, and so then the last thing you really want to think about asking yourself when it comes to the content is, do you answer the question that your reader is thinking when they land there? And that's, what's in it for me? Okay, so you want to make sure that you can say exactly yes to that. They know why they're there. Okay, so then you want to look around your site and find any content updates that can be made based on changes that have taken place since your last review or refresh of your site. So that might be new team members that you've added throughout the year, or maybe team members that you have lost throughout the year that you need to update. Maybe you've made changes in your services and your offerings, either in what's included in those, or maybe the price, the title. Maybe you have a totally new service that you need to add, or a service that you no longer want to provide, and you can take that off. And then another good one is to pay attention to your contact information. Make sure that that's up to date for sure, and how you want to be contacted, is if that's still current. As for the images, a really simple way to update the appearance of your website and really freshen it up for the new year is to swap out some images. So take the hero images, or the large images at the top of the most of the pages of your website. You could easily swap those out and give your site a really fresh, updated look, just based on the images alone. That's an easy way to do that. Another quick idea is to replace any portraits of you and your team. Make sure that those are up to date. All right. Okay, so then the third thing that we're going to look at is brand consistency. So if you've been following along with me, then surely you've heard me say by now that consistency equals trust, and people buy from those they trust. So if your brand is inconsistent, then you really show up kind of wishy-washy in your appearance. And because we use social media so regularly in business, it can be really easy to sway throughout the year from your brand guidelines, and maybe start using your branding elements in different ways, or small ways that just really differ from how they were used when you originally launched your site. So if this is the case, you just want to go back and make any necessary updates as needed to your website as well, so that your business appears consistently across all of the channels of your marketing, so that you're showing up consistently, right? So, think about the colors, the way that you're using them. Maybe, you have a primary color that you were using, but now a secondary color plays more in, right? So think about the colors, the way that you're using them, the combinations of them. Hey, Joy, glad to see you hop on. Happy New Year. We're talking about updating your website for the year. So right now we're looking at, your branding. Look at the colors and the typefaces and the graphics that you're using and how you're using them. And, like I said, be sure that your website is current with your branding and how you're showing up daily in all of the other marketing channels. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to look at, the fourth thing, is your navigation. So you probably know exactly where to find what you're looking for in your website. You can find the specific information, but is it obvious? to a new user. And this can be tough because you're so familiar with your own website, but really, again, you have to try to approach it with just fresh eyes. Imagine that you're a first time visitor and then ask yourself if you can easily find what you're looking for. So I really like to think of the various reasons that someone would visit my site and then test it. So all of the different reasons someone might visit, what they might be looking for. And I go through the navigation and see if I would be able to navigate to that piece of information within 3 clicks. All right. That's a good test. And the reason why is that if a visitor can easily find the information they're looking for, they'll be more likely to stay longer at your site, right? And that's super important for a good user experience, but also when it comes to SEO, search engine optimization. So search engines look at how long people are staying on your site. So if they're finding the information that they need to get to, they'll stay on your site longer, and the longer they stay, the better. And that will help your website to rank higher in the search engine results. So if this is tough because you're so close to your own content, you can definitely recruit a friend or a family member to help you with this. So ask them to navigate through your site and jot down anywhere they got lost or confused, and then ask questions, and if they can't find the answer to that question, then you want to go back and think about where your content is on the site and how you can get someone there in the most easiest way. Okay. Yeah. You got it, Joy. 3 clicks. That's right. I like that one because I don't know that people will put up with much more than that before they're like, I'm out of here. I can't find what I'm looking for. All right. So the 5th one then is keywords. And so when we were just speaking about SEO, this is important, okay? It's important to review the keywords that you're going after. Now, maybe you never even set up a keyword strategy, and that's fine. If you haven't yet, you can always start now. I have a whole separate video training on that, which I'll link in the comments after I jump off today. But keywords essentially are the words that define what the content on your website is all about. And you want them, the ones that you choose, to appear in your copy and also to match what your dream client is searching for when they go and type into Google, so that they have a better chance of finding you in the search engine results so that your website pops up, right? So the thing is about keywords is that the search volumes can always change as things change on the internet and as things change for what people are looking for. So it's quite possible that the keywords that you're using may not be as effective as they once were. So maybe they were really great when you set them up, but you need to pay attention if you need to tweak them or change them. So now is a great time to do that. So spend some time checking into your main keywords with a keyword planning tool. I really love Ubersuggest for a planning tool, but there are tons out there, paid and free, that are available where you can see the search volume and see what people are looking for. So if you find the keywords that you're using aren't a good fit anymore, then you can update your content to target different, stronger ones that you pinpoint. So that's a great thing to do as you're revising your website and looking for ways to refresh it in the new year. Okay. Number 6 is your calls to action. So you don't ever want to leave it up to your audience to really have to just guess what they're supposed to do next, because if you don't tell them directly, most likely they are not going to do anything. They will not take action. So as you're reviewing and updating your site, be sure that number 1, it's clear on every page what the viewer should be doing next. And then number 2, make sure that you're still asking them to do what it is that you want them to do. Make sure that it's current. So maybe you started out driving people to join your Facebook group because that was at the time what you were most interested in having people do next. But now let's say you've got this great lead magnet or freebie and you really want them to download it first before joining your group because you've changed your strategy and it's all about now growing your email list. Okay. So if that's the case, you wouldn't want to be driving them to your Facebook group anymore. So you want to make sure that your calls to action are current with what you want them to be doing next. So whatever the next step is that you want someone to take, make sure it's clear, make sure it's obvious, and ultimately leading them to your current most desired end result. And that leads me to the last thing that you should be sure to update as you're reviewing your site in the new year. And that's results. Okay. If it's been a while since you've made updates to your site, then most likely you've worked with some new clients and you've got new case studies, you've got new testimonials, you've got new portfolio projects. Don't forget to put these up and make these changes, right? I know that you've done a lot of growing over the past year, and it's really important that your audience can see all of the people that you've worked with and that you've helped and all of the great work that you're doing. So be sure to update these sections as well. And then also think about if you've received any new certifications maybe, or any awards, you can definitely add those to your website. And if you've been published in any media, or maybe you've been being interviewed on a bunch of different podcasts, then you could also think about adding a press page to your website if you don't already have one, or just making sure that that's up to date and current as well. So those are my suggestions for updating and revising your website heading into the new year to make sure it's all set and ready to go, ready for your audience. To have a really great experience, and to make your website, make sure that it's current and really working hard and being that awesome marketing tool that it can be for your business, rather than just, sitting stagnant and collecting dust. That does nothing for you. And so I love to make sure that you're actually using your site. So those are my tips, 7 things that you need to freshen up on your website for the new year. And really, why wait until the new year to make these updates anyway? I really do like to add this as a quarterly task to make sure that your website is good to go and performing as best it can be and that it should be. So if you're looking now at your current site and you're really thinking, like I've got this pit in my stomach, and you're thinking, this site just isn't serving my business at all anymore because it's no longer a good representation of your brand, maybe, or maybe you didn't start with a solid strategy when you set it up in the first place, and just now it's become this really confusing mess. I see that happen a lot because you dove into getting going, which is fantastic, but maybe there was no strategy behind it and it's just not really working. Or maybe you're sitting there thinking, I haven't even got my business online yet, and I don't have a website. And so if this is you in any of these cases, I want to invite you to come to my free 5-day workshop. It's starting on January 31st, so just a couple weeks away. I'm going to be showing you how to create an online presence that really breaks through the online noise and connects you with your dream clients. Okay. So like I said, it's free, but you do need to sign up. And to do that, you can head over to DoWellWebsites/workshop to grab your spot. I can throw that banner up here right now so that you can see the URL, but I'll also put it in the comments after I jump off here today. So I'm so happy that you were able to join me today. I'll be back next week again, live on Wednesday at noon again. So I will see you again then. And until then, have a really fantastic week, everyone. Bye.